Hello everyone, I'm about to talk to Telltale Gamer, bringing you everything Telltale Games, Transformers, and more. Today, we got a huge news about, Walking Dead. Specifically, we've got our first look at the cover of The Walking Dead Season 4, aka The Walking Dead, the final season. Now, The Walking Dead, the final season was announced last year, back in July, during, Telltale's little summer update. That was the same time when they announced, Batman Season 2, The Enemy Within, and The Wolf Among Us Season 2. So we got our first look at the cover of The Walking Dead, the final season, and here it's a nice little callback to the cover of the cover for the Game of the Year edition of The Walking Dead Season 1, where you had Lee protecting Clementine with the axe, surrounded by all the walkers outside the Marsh house. Now this time we have Clementine protecting AJ in front of all these walkers, just like Lee did, and now in this little like forest scenario. Kind of reminds me of the way Monroe looked in The Walking Dead Michonne. So along with this, Telltale tweeted out this little thing: finish Clementine's story. The Walking Dead, the final season, premieres later this year. Now, when Telltale first announced The Walking Dead, the final season last year, this is like it's almost been in 4 months. It'll be July, so it'll have been almost a year. It's since they announced the final season. They said that they were trying to shoot for the game to be released sometime early this year, but then they later said that they were trying to shoot for a summer release. So I'm not quite sure when we can expect episode 1 of The Walking Dead, the final season, to be released. My personal guess is that I think we can probably expect the episode to be released either late August, towards the end of summer, or at the very latest early October. That's when I think we'll see it. And then Wolf Among Us Season 2, if that's the case, will probably come out like 2 months after that. So if we get Walking Dead Season 4 in the beginning of August, we'll get Wolf Among Us Season 2 in October, and then if Walking Dead Season 4 comes out in October, then we'll get Wolf Among Us Season 2 in December. Which kind of sucks, because even though Telltale said that they were planning to have Walking Dead Season 4 come out in the first half of the year, and then Wolf Among Us Season 2 come out the second half, I'm so glad that we're going to be getting both games this year. So first, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and analyze everything we can about this little cover for the game and see what we can dissect from it. So first off, this little thing starts off with the obvious thing here is that Clementine's protecting AJ here. Now, Clementine is in her outfit that she wore at the end of New Frontier Episode 5. She has the red jacket, which I thought was Kate's jacket at first, but no, it's not. It's actually that jacket that she's always been wearing around her waist for the entire season. She's now just finally decided to wear it. We see her hair is actually grown back to like her Season 3 length, unlike the weird like haircut that Javi gave her at the end of Season 3. I guess this could have been possibly due to like fan outcry, because a lot of people hated that haircut. I mean, I didn't mind it, but I'm glad that she is back to her original haircut. It also could have just been like passing of time too, because that's another thing we can see. If you see here, look at AJ. AJ has quite the afro going on here. I'm assuming that now this takes place most likely a couple years after the events of New Frontier, which is kind of interesting considering that when if you tell when Dr. Lingard tells Clem where AJ is, he's at the McCarroll Ranch. He only says it's a few miles west of Richmond. So I don't think it would take Clem like around 2 years to get from Richmond to the McCarroll Ranch. Unless this is somehow implying that maybe the McCarroll Ranch got overrun in between the events of Seasons 3 and 4, and that AJ got moved somewhere else. I'm not sure what the possibility for AJ's growth in this cover can be. Based on that, I think it's safe to assume that where Walking Dead New Frontier took place 2 years after the events of Season 2, which is still 2 years before the events of the new beginning time jump in the comics. So I'm assuming now with Season 4 we'll be caught up with the comics now. So this will now be the 2 years leading will now be caught up to the same time as the new beginning story arc when Magna and her group arrive at Alexandria with Rick and all them. So that would put AJ to be around 4 or 5 in this screenshot, which would make sense considering how much taller he is. And Clementine looks a little bit older herself too, so she was revealed to be like around 13 and a half during the events of New Frontier, so that would put her at around somewhere between 15 and 16 during the events of Season 4, which I think looks right here to get based on the way she looks. She still looks, I'm still thinking though, this might be a developer oversight, and it might take place, at most, like a couple months after the events of New Frontier, because like Telltale is kind of weird with their timeline. But if we're looking at this the right way, I feel like Walking Dead Season 4 will take place 2 years after the events of New Frontier. Now let's talk about the little background here surrounding Clementine and AJ. We see Clementine holding an axe that looks very similar to Lee's axe from Season 1, Episodes 1 and 2. She's got a little like duct tape there on the blade next to it, and then we see all of these walkers surrounding her and AJ. But it's also interesting if you look at the environment that they're in. So they seem to be in this open field kind of area. You see on the far left under the Walking Dead logo, you see this little shed. Kind of reminds me of the train station that Lee and Clementine go to in Season 1, Episode 3. We see a car behind this one walker to the right of it, the shed, which I'm assuming that's like how Clementine got here. She most likely took a car out. And then if you even look on the far right of Clementine and AJ, behind this one walker to the right of AJ, you see like another shed-looking area. To me, that kind of looks like one of the boathouses from Monroe. If you remember, Monroe was the boat community Norma led in The Walking Dead Michonne. So I don't think it's a boathouse. It could just be another shed or cabin. The more I look at it, it kind of looks like the cabin from The Walking Dead Season 2 that Luke and everyone lived in. And then behind Clementine, you can see like this little rock cliff area that so it looks like we're still in like the Virginia area, like maybe a little more west than that, maybe heading towards Ohio or a little bit like that, or but yeah, that's all we can tell from this screenshot or like the cover of The Walking Dead Season 4. I really like this cover, and I can't wait to finally be able to finish this game. Now, for those of you who don't know, while The Walking Dead, the final season, will be Clementine's final season, this most likely will not be the end of The Walking Dead for Telltale. If you remember, back when Telltale first announced The Walking Dead Season 4, they announced that just because it's the end of Clementine's story doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of them making Walking Dead games. So for anyone who is worried that The Walking Dead series will stop without Clementine, don't worry. I feel like they could if they decide to go ahead and make a Season 5, it would be with a new group size, maybe even make AJ the main character, or perhaps maybe they could do more spin-off games like they did with The Walking Dead Michonne, maybe make a Walking Dead Jesus game, and like make more backstory games as for some like the more like comic characters, maybe like make a Walking Dead Ezekiel game, a Walking Dead Jesus game. I would say Walking Dead Negan game, but we already have the Here's Negan comic book like graphic novel series that kind of like serves as his prequel. I would say also that we'll make a Walking Dead Governor game, but once again, the novels, the Road to Woodbury series, that kind of tells the story of the governor there. I guess if we wanted to, assuming like characters that we've long since missing, like Molly, Lily, and Krista from Season 1, Mike, Bonnie, and Arvo from Season 2, and then we know that Joan/Clint, whoever you let live at the end of New Frontier, they are going to be returning in Season 4 because during a Q&A Telltale held shortly after The Walking Dead New Frontier finished, a lot of people were angry the fact that Joan and Clint did not appear at all in Episode 5 of New Frontier, and they said that they do have a plan for them in Season 4, so there's that. And then another thing is one personal thing of mine is how Kenny's hat is going to play a role in Season 4. Now, if for a lot of people, some people were who got the Wellington ending like myself, they were quite pissed that if you grabbed Kenny's hat when you were escaping Wellington, you couldn't really do anything with it. You didn't see AJ wear it for like during the rest of the flashback, anything like that. And so yeah, like when Telltale was discussing like stuff that they were missing, like deleted scenes in New Frontier, they said that, oh well, yeah, like there was a scene that you would have been able to give David Mariana's tape player if you didn't give it to Gabe or bury it with her back in Episodes 2. You would have been able to give the pills to the one guy who got bit in Episode 5 if you stole them back in Episode 4. They said they did have something planned for Kenny's hat in New Frontier, but it got scrapped. But they did say that for anyone who still has Kenny's hat, that it will play a role in Season 4. So could we finally be seeing AJ wear Kenny's hat? Or maybe because of like the fan outcry that people got after Kenny's death in if you got the Kenny ending in Season 2, maybe we'll be seeing Kenny return in Season 4 if you got the Wellington ending, and so we'll be giving him his hat back. I don't know. So I'm looking forward to see after like I just finished Batman: The Enemy Within, and seeing how well that game did, I am a lot more comfortable with Telltale of how they're going to handle the final season. I don't think it's going to be another New Frontier scenario. I don't think it's going to be like totally like riddled with like glitches or like just like really shitty choices and all that. I'm not really saying New Frontier had shitty choices, not like non-consequential choices. Like a lot of your choices really didn't matter to that, like with David and all that. But it did have like some branching choices. I will give them props for that. But I don't think what went wrong with New Frontier is going to happen to Season 4. I think that the final season will be pretty good. I think if it's definitely going to be as good as Season 1 and 2. I think maybe it's going to have to work to be as good as Season 1 and 2, but I think it can definitely have the potential to be. So that's it for my little analysis here on the cover art for The Walking Dead, the final season. For those of you who don't know, Telltale is holding a PAX panel next Friday, April 6th, from around 1:30 to 2:30. That will be getting our first look at The Walking Dead, the final season, which unfortunately will not be shown on the live stream, but it will only be shown to people who actually go to the event in person. So I'll have to go ahead and like read other people's like reports to see like what people can say of The Walking Dead season 4. It kind of reminds me a bit of when they were teasing The Walking Dead season 2, when they showed concept art of Omid and I think Krista in season 2, but like no one said that. Like they were just like silhouettes, and then there was the silhouette of Clem with like Childs, who which later found out was Sarah. But yeah, I'm getting flashbacks to how they handled The Walking Dead season 2, which is really, really hopeful for The Walking Dead the final season. So are you guys excited for the final season in Clementine's story? If you like this, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.